Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Cookiecast. Today on Cookiecast, it's our football podcast. You can't see the forest for the tees. Check out what we thought to last week's games, where our host and co-host, Mr. Paul Williams and James Panas, attended one of the games, get their rundown of how that shaped up, and see what we're thinking for next week. See if we won any money, and check out our football quiz. So this is Cookiecast Presents You Can't See the Forest for the Tees.
I mean, that's the same mistake every time. I just walk up to it and then go, no.
Surely Jazzy Bath Mat is going to be the name of a band at some point in the future.
Name of your partner, Jazzy Bath Mat.
Jazzy Bath. Television sex tape.
Jizzy Bath Mat.
Oh, cut that.
Oh, are we on?
We're never going to get any better than that. Spunky backpack. Oh.
Whose turn is it to...
It's probably back to me, I think, innit? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another thrilling instalment of You Can't See the Forest for the Tees. On the week that
you could
see the forest, and the teams were basically just there shitting themselves. So, but we'll come on to the results.
You could see the forest because the tees didn't show up.
Yeah, basically.
No spoilers.
So yeah, welcome. The season is drawing to a close.
Drawing to a close.
2 games left.
Thought the season didn't end.
Or is there possibly
it's
5 games left?
Absolutely over for us.
2 games left for Forest. If results go the correct way, potentially 5 games left for both.
Playoff bound.
Not anymore. They were playoff bound until the 94th minute of the game at Derby.
I know, that killed you, didn't it? That just rubbed salt in the wounds.
That was the most annoying thing for the Nottingham Forest fans. They were like, yeah, getting 3-0 win. Fuck, we've inadvertently got Derby in the playoffs. Son of a bitch. So
could say I feel like a Man United fan tonight. As in, they won. You know what I mean? Right.
So yeah.
Oh, instantly Masper's putting the game on.
Where do we want to dive in?
Well, it usually starts with This Week in Football.
This week in football, we went to football.
So this week in football, we did go to football. However,
I went to football twice.
As James pointed out, yesterday, so we're recording this on Wednesday, yesterday was rather a historic day in the Premier League.
It was.
As the fastest goal ever scored in a Premier League game, was scored yesterday.
Really?
By Shane Long of Southampton.
This will be a quiz question when we're doing the podcast in 6 years.
How many seconds is Andy going to go for?
To give him something to go on, do we know what the previous record was?
I think so. So I believe... Well, I don't want to temper his answer too much. No, I think it was Ledley King.
Oh yeah, we have had this before in the quiz.
I want to see his guess first.
Before you say 6 seconds.
Oh, he's so close. So the previous record was Ledley King, I believe, who scored after 13 seconds for Spurs. Shane Long scored yesterday after... Now, there's some debate over this. Apparently, some people were saying it was 7 seconds. Other people were saying it was 8 seconds.
Mm.
But either way, it's still the fastest ever recorded goal. So that's what happened this week. Other things that happened this week, Juventus wrapped up the league
finally
in Italy. So I think that's what, 7 in a row.
Because they got a shock loss in the last league game, didn't they, to Nottingham?
Who's Nottingham? It's funny because it's a pun based on words and jokes.
Anyway,
So
they had a bad week last week because they failed to win the league and got knocked out of Champions League.
particularly bad couple of days. But yeah, they've tied up the league. I think PSG also won their league. They won their league without even playing, because I think it's Lille that's second, didn't win.
I don't think it is Lille.
I thought it was Lille.
Oh, right.
I could have sworn someone said it was a team beginning with L. It wasn't Lyon. I might have got that wrong. But either way, the team that was second didn't win. So then PSG went up the next day and won 2 of which I think Mbappe got a hat-trick or something. So
Must be hard. Must be hard in France,
just
though, right?
pulled his knob out and just basically rubbed it all over that team's face and was like, I'm probably the best player in the world and I'm 19. So,
And I'm at PSG.
is he 19? He's probably 20 now, isn't he? Probably just dicking all over me, isn't he? Toss him. PAOK. PAOK Salonika in Greece won the league title for the first time in 34 years, I think it said on the radio the other day.
What was it?
So that's a new one. So
I couldn't have named you more than 2 Greek teams before you mentioned that.
Olympiakos,
Yeah.
Panathinaikos,
Oh yeah.
AK Athens.
I was going for AK Athens.
PAOK.
I'd forgotten Panathinaikos.
Definitely out. Limassol.
Apoel.
No, that's Apoel Nicosia. Oh, maybe it's Apoel Limassol. Maybe.
I think no, it definitely is Nicosia, but is Limassol one as well?
Maybe. I don't know if they're Cypriot though. Nicosia definitely are.
Yeah. Anything interesting?
Absolutely not. Something about someone's wife.
Sounds interesting.
No, it's something about Ashley Young, I think. Being a dirty, dirty bastard. Yeah, what else? What else has happened?
Man United got tonked.
Tonked 4-0 away at Everton. So in the space of a week, United played 2 games, scored none, conceded 7.
Jeez.
Ouch.
Currently 0-0.
Currently 0-0
Still
with,
not scoring any goals.
Currently 0-0 with Sitter.
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 I think that's about it.
Lincoln won League 2.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
Bolton finally went down to League 1.
Oh well, now you said that, now we have to talk about Leeds absolutely throwing away promotion chances.
I said I wouldn't cry, but this is beautiful.
With joy.
They're just trying their best just to fuck it up. I don't know what I can say.
I'd like to thank God. Just everybody.
It's just disappointing because now Sheffield United.
I mean, it's not disappointing, is it? It's absolutely fucking hilarious.
It's not because Sheffield United is going to go up now.
It is the most supreme level of top banter anyone's ever come up with. Someone brought up a stat.
Are you happier now that rather than like other seasons where they were never really in it, it's just the sweeter now that they thought they were going to do it and they failed.
It is more delicious because of the fact that they've had the chance and then they've voluntarily fucked it up.
So now they're 3 points behind Sheffield United.
So they're 3 points
with
behind
a lesser goal difference.
3 points behind Sheffield United with the worst goal difference, which technically makes it 4 points.
It's significant enough that they're not going to overall that goal difference.
They need Sheffield United to absolutely shit the bed
in 2 games.
In the last 2 games. And the funniest thing about it,
and Norwich are trying to give away the championship to Sheffield United as well.
So Norwich were top, absolutely coasting. Looked like they couldn't be caught.
7 points clear.
Something like 7 points clear. They've drawn the last 3, and now Sheffield United, because they've won the last 2.
Yes, got a draw before that, I think. Yeah.
So because Sheffield United won the last 2, they've pulled within 3 points of Norwich.
I'm not sure. I think they might even have.
They might have a higher goal difference than Norwich. So it's not inconceivable that Sheffield United could still win the league. But basically, Norwich need a point on Saturday.
Yeah, had they won on Saturday, they'd gone up, wouldn't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sunday.
Monday, yeah. Sorry, I'm losing days here.
Joys of a bank holiday week.
Because when did they play?
Norwich.
Did they play the late game on Monday?
No, they played the quarter to 8 on Friday. The Norwich game was a normal kick-off because we looked at that score in the crack.
Yes, it was. They were away at Stoke and one of their defenders slipped to let Stoke in to score. So Norwich are, again, they'd have to spectacularly fuck it up. They'd have to lose both games by about 10-0 to have the swing of goal difference to basically lose out to Leeds. So Norwich will be up this week. Sheffield United could be up this week because Leeds have got a tough game against Villa.
Villa.
And Sheffield have got Ipswich, I think.
I mean, that's pretty much a nailed on 3 points. Ipswich are bottom. They're already down. They've got absolutely nothing to play for. Even pride is pretty much scarce at that point. It's quite funny with these teams that have had the same manager for years. Get rid of them, go down. So it happened to Charlton, happened to Ipswich, happened to...
it's quite weird how it always happens, isn't it?
What happened to United? They got rid of Fergie, brought in Moise and finished 7th. So that's almost like going down for United, isn't it?
Got rid of Wenger and then went, oh no, they got better. Apart from last 2 games.
I mean, that's...
They are better.
Are they?
Yeah.
Don't know, they finished 6th last season, or possibly even 5th under Wenger.
Until the last 2 games, they were looking place for third.
They're definitely not going to finish there again. So I'd be maybe holding my judgment on that one.
We need Europa.
Fucking hell. The hallmark of quality. What else can happen? Rotherham need a win, really, to stay up because they're 3 points behind with a worse goal difference. So again, it's pretty much 4 points, which, if they don't get a result, would kind of play into our hands for the last game of the season. Because we've got to go to Rotherham. And if they're still fighting to stay up, obviously their players will be putting absolutely everything in. I mean, not to say they won't be putting everything in. Although you could argue that none of the Middlesbrough players put anything in on Monday.
Whoa, we'll get to that.
Which we'll cover. Shots fired.
Yeah.
£28.50 fired. Straight to the fucking bog.
Straight to the sun.
But again, we'll cover that later. Don't know what ups or downs or anything like that.
No.
It's all very tight for this. For this time of the season, there's normally more decided than there is. Which is good.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the Prem, obviously, like...
There was only one...
Fulham and Huddersfield was
there's only one relegation
really
spot still to fill.
And everyone's trying their hardest to be in that spot.
Yeah.
But
it's between Cardiff and Brighton. Southampton are still technically in it, or maybe were until that point yesterday.
I think I've looked at it. I think Southampton can still get relegated, but
they need a hell of a swing.
Yeah.
And Cardiff have still got to play one over the Manchester club, if not both potentially. So, yeah, it's nice for there still to be stuff to be decided at this point of the season, because I don't know if it was last season or the season before, but all the 3 teams had gone down. Man City had won the league, and all the top 4 was already decided before the last game of the season. So
yeah,
no one was playing for anything in the last 2 weeks.
And obviously you've got it. It really finally balanced between Liverpool and Man City. Yeah, obviously it's in Man City's hands. If you keep winning.
Also, a point that you raised the other day is that the FA's confirmed there's only 5 Champions League spots available to the teams in England, which means. So the team that wins the Europa League, the prize for winning the Europa League is entry into next season's Champions League tournament. However...
Which was always the... No, that's not the extra 5th spot. The winning the Champions League was the 5th spot, wasn't it?
Well, that's still a thing. That's still
there, yeah.
So the Champions League winners automatically go back in the next season. I think that was brought in after Liverpool...
The Everton-Liverpool thing.
But finished 5th. So...
They stole Everton's...
Wouldn't have qualified for the Champions League because... They were in the top 4. So ever since then, I think it's been brought in that the Champions League winners automatically go into the competition the next season.
So when they give the allocation out across all the things, one's just held back.
That one doesn't count. It's not determined by any team like coefficient.
And then obviously at the time when that was brought in, winning the Europa League didn't get you into the Champions League.
It's only been the last 3-4
for people to take it a bit more seriously.
Yeah.
Were Man United the first one?
No, Sevilla, I think. Sevilla were the first team to go in, because I think it was the final between Sevilla and Liverpool, and it was a case of Liverpool need to win this to be in the Champions League next season, because Liverpool had finished either 5th or 6th.
Anyway.
So, that's bad, because it means that if Chelsea and Arsenal both get into the Europa League final, one of them is guaranteed a Champions League spot. which is fine if they both finish 5th and 6th, because it won't affect...
No.
Oh, hang on.
If they finish 5th and 6th, it will, but only if Tottenham also win the Champions League.
So, this is the nightmare scenario. Liverpool, so Man City win the league, Liverpool finish 2nd. Chelsea finish 3rd.
No. Oh, well, if you're going with the Arsenal
so let's do this. So, Chelsea finish 3rd, so automatically get into the Champions League. Man United finish 4th. Spurs finish 5th, but win the Champions League. And Arsenal finish 6th and win the Europa League, which means that Man United would drop out of the Champions League even though they're in the top 4. It happened 6 seasons ago when Chelsea won the Champions League. Tottenham had finished 4th, but because Chelsea finished 6th but won the Champions League, Spurs dropped out of the Champions League spot. It was so weird. It's so convoluted and stuff like that, but...
And it can happen again this time.
And it can happen again this season.
And really, again, really the only one that can be screwed over is United and/or
Chelsea
or Arsenal, who don't win the Champions League but finish
the Europa League.
Because Spurs are, at this point in time, pretty much guaranteed Champions League.
If they finish 3rd, yeah. So yeah, interesting stuff. Interesting stuff.
Not complicated.
Not complicated at all.
It's quite interesting.
It's like that bit in basketball where they try and explain the playoff system, and everyone's like,
I think I fell asleep on that bit.
Sure, no, you didn't. No? You enjoyed that film start to finish, and we definitely didn't break it down in a podcast afterwards and rip it to pieces.
But I was drunk at the time, so I don't remember.
Drunk?
Well, if you remember, that was the day when we got back from the river dance after a day on the beer, and then thought, yeah, that'd definitely be a good idea watching a shit film whilst drunk.
What's happened in Monday Night Five-a-side?
There was none this week, as it was bank holiday.
Bank holiday.
But he did have a double header on Thursday. Did you put? Yeah.
Double header the previous Thursday though, because we had to miss the week before.
2 wins.
2 games played. 2 wins. First game.
2 wins.
25.
No.
Nope. 20.
Oh!
5.
Wow.
The second game was something like, oh, Man City have scored.
That's disappointing.
Is it Bernardo?
It looked like a little guy running around.
I'll tell you something. He is going to be so unlucky at how good Sterling and Van Dijk have been this season. Because if not, he should be nailed on for player of the season. He has been so good for Man City.
A lot of people saying Son as well.
Son's had a hell of a season as well, but I've liked him since Spurs signed him.
Oh, since before it was cool.
Since before it was cool. Since before it was cool, man.
Like him.
He's good though.
Come on, my son.
I think I've actually seen that flag in the crowd.
No, not like that. Get you out of the gutter, you dirty boys.
I think they knew exactly what they were saying when they made that flag.
Live in the
so won the first game 25. Second game was either something like 24 or 26-6. The teams we're playing against, no offence, not very good.
Yep.
So.
They're going to be watching now and targeting next time.
Yeah. Around. Well, I can't really be targeted because they can't get to me because I'm in the area, and if they go in the area, it's a foul. So I'm almost in a little protective bubble.
I was going to say that shit bastard.
Oh, you can't touch me, no bad. Oh, he's coming! He's punched me in the face!
So,
do we have to do this?
Yeah, Friday was good. We also failed to put better on for Monday.
I was going to come to this because I've got a little blank box down here.
But it's alright because I don't think any of us picked that result.
Got a little blank box.
Yeah. We were going to put them on the day because we couldn't do it that far in advance. However, I don't think any of us would have put on what happened.
No. We'll come to that.
There's no way that he was going far.
We'll come to that. So, first game of Good Friday.
I suppose it's my one because it was the early kick-off.
Sheffield United
2 versus Nottingham Forest.
1, 2. Sheffield United
2 because we went through this whole thing of me hoping there was a third goal going in because it was.
Oh yes, Sheffield United 2, Nottingham Forest
0.
Not only that.
Oh!
Here we go.
Hey!
Here we go. Scorers.
Somebody got 2 points.
Duffy, first one, I believe.
Mark?
I don't know what his name is. It's Duffy. Scored a good goal. And the second one was Ender Stevens.
Unfortunately, Mr. Duffy scored his goal after Sheffield United had been reduced to 10 players.
No. Forest had been reduced to 10 players.
What did I say?
Sheffield United had been reduced to 10 players.
I must have got some sort of like Chinese brain.
But it's all like MSG.
Probably is.
Well, it was like he was there. What's the plan? Do we order the BS to arrive? Like, no, we're doing BS cast. Not ordering no BS. Anyway, 2-0. Forest got. It was in the balance until the sending off. That I don't think that's really.
I watched the first half and it looked like Forest were pretty much in the game.
I thought it was very, very balanced. They were both not creating much at all.
No, and I said to you on Monday, not seen much of him, but the games I've seen him play, Ender Stevens looks a hell of a player. He's the sort of player that if when Sheffield United go up and then eventually obviously come back straight back down, he will be getting signed by a Premier League club and will probably be in the England squad if he's English within the next couple of years. That
ties it. Well, Stevens suggests a bit Welsh, doesn't it? But it's funny because we were talking at the weekend. I was saying that I identified that as a weak spot in the Premier League.
Left backs. It's an argument to be made.
It's for another day.
In the first half, Forest's auxiliary left back
and for the day captain, Jack Colback, managed to pick up his 15th yellow card of the season, which came with it an automatic 3-game ban. Which also came with it his contract being terminated.
So there was only 3 games left of the season, so his season is over.
He's on loan for the season, and because the last 3 games of the season now he's banned for
back you go to Newcastle. We don't want you here anymore.
No, I tell you what, he's been good.
Not a left back.
Goal machine.
No, I didn't realise. Apparently, he has played a lot at left back.
So there's me thinking, that's one player who can't play on Monday. Then saw the second half. Oh, I said, this just gets better and better.
But it's all right because the guy who came on. Well, we'll get to it.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Next game on Good Friday, Middlesbrough versus Stoke. Middlesbrough 1.
Okay.
Stoke 0.
Oh, boys.
Did he go 1-0?
Oh, boys.
Is he pulling double duty? Is he pulling a double shift?
I can't remember what we all went for.
I just put myself down for 2 more points.
Has he worked a double shift?
I'm pretty sure he would have gone for the goal scorer.
Oh, no.
It sounds like something...
If I said to you, do.
No.
Did you not go for it this week?
Not in that game.
Oh yeah, because you all thought Britt was going to score against his former team.
Somebody did.
Yeah, was it me? Did I go 2-0? Fucking slag.
So you get points there.
What did I? What I can't remember what I said for that game.
Probably 1 each.
What did I say in that game?
No points.
Did I go a draw?
Can I possibly make a suggestion? What are the thoughts on me opening that window?
Getting a bit warm.
I am fucking roasting.
Because you've got a double t-shirt today.
I haven't. I've taken the t-shirt off.
Oh, have you? Oh, right.
The MSG, I'm telling you.
Man.
It's killing you.
Go on then.
Some might say there's a part of me that's the same as it was on Monday. That I can give you regular updates about.
You'll have to pull the curtains so the creatures don't come in.
Oh. Creatures of the night. Is that alright if we just crack it a little bit?
Put it on the latch.
Oh no, I don't need to do that. I just need to sort of,
Just create a bit of a breeze.
Yeah. There you go. Oh,
there's a little bit of air coming through there. Oh man, it's going to be good. It's going to be glorious.
So, a couple of zeros.
Yeah, just that only.
Have you got? Did you get none of the result correct? Oh no, you got a 2-0. You got the result correct, but not the score.
Yeah, it's not a 0. Yeah, I got points this Sheffield.
Actually, yeah, you did. You got a point there.
Yeah, because he was praying when Kieran Dowell came on for Sheffield United.
He came on.
Score.
And I thought, do you know, he had a couple of chances as well. Thinking he might as well score. My team's lost, but if I get a 3-0 with Dowell, definitely win the predictions of the week. That's what it's come to.
Jesus Christ.
So let's finish this up.
Go on. Go on. Easter Monday, City Ground.
3 o'clock. Forest 3. Middlesbrough 0.
Fucking hell.
When I say that doesn't tell the story of the game,
as
I am
my
not
dad
lying.
Said, could have been 6.
Could have been 6. Seriously. The only reason it was only 3...
Because you've got the Championship Keeper of the Year.
And my stats are backed up by the fact that he is officially in the team of the season. So, sorry mate, I was right.
So, points. No points.
I don't think I went 3-0 though, did I? Did I go 2-1?
2-1, 2-1.
Show some goal scorers. First goal.
Was a penalty.
Pen. Joe Lolly.
Point.
Second goal.
Oh my god.
Right, so I'll return to the story. So when we got our centre-back sent off, he's like, brilliant, Ben Nolan not playing. Okay, in that game, we sacrificed, I can't even remember who it was, let's say Jakob or someone, I don't know, and brought on
Savo
Milosevic, not Savo, not Slobodan, definitely not Slobodan. Brought Milosevic on to short the back, so he's thinking, brilliant, Ben Nolan, your first choice goalkeeper.
First goalkeeper?
First choice defender, not going to be playing against Middlesbrough. Did not count on Milosevic popping up and getting an incredible goal for a defender.
Wasn't a volley because it had bounced, but he hit it.
True.
He on the sort of the slice, and just arrowed it straight into the side netting. It was a beautiful finish
from a centre back.
So nobody had that goal scorer.
No one's ever picking Milosevic to score now. And then the third goal, obviously by this point, Middlesbrough were trying to move forward, trying to get that goal, and we just started getting a lot of space. So
João Carvalho basically just slices open with surgeon-like precision.
Yeah. For Joe Lolly to pop in another goal.
And when he says pop it in, he does of course mean his penis in the.
So how does that work then? Because does that technically mean that we get more points?
No, you'd have had to say Lolly 2.
Yeah.
So
incidentally, just going back to the Sheffield United Forest game from Friday, put down my score predictions for Dowell and a Billy Sharp brace. Find out when I get to Doncaster, ready for the game on Thursday night. Billy Sharp injured, Basham injured, Egan injured. It's like a lot of their team, and I was like, brilliant. Not going to get any points, but might have a result here. No, I've got nothing.
So,
don't think he's back.
Dissecting the game, eh? Oh no, you're going to do the points, aren't you?
I don't think I've done enough. I think he's won this.
Of course he has. Look at the smug smile on his face.
Paul Williams with points, of which there are 2.
That's for the for the result.
3 games.
That's for the result. And British on the longest scoring.
James Panas.
By my reckoning, I should have 3 points.
3 points over 3 games.
Andrew Cook.
5
points.
6.
Oh!
Over 3 games.
This guy. This fucking guy.
Don't know how he does it.
Unlike Middlesbrough, took points out of every game there.
Incidentally, did you go for Matty Cash scoring?
I did.
Yeah, unfortunately they decided to play him at right back.
I think City are about to score you. Oh, that's nice.
Has it happened? Is that Leroy?
Yeah, but I think De Gea's dived over it. Because one of my mates...
So that was the replay?
That's live, because obviously he's watching it in the pub or something like that. And one of my mates just texts me saying, "Oh, David." David! So City win the league, yeah?
So how many games? This one game? One game apiece?
Well, bear in mind, there's only 2 games left in the season. So there's only one game on Saturday, and the game at the week after will be on a Sunday.
There'll be a
there was talk of us potentially going. Not to Forest, because no one fucking cares about them shit bastard. Here we go. So Sane has a shot, and oh my.
Yeah. His team are playing at Rotherham.
Oh dear.
Which is not too far away, and they've got a big enough stadium that it'll be easy enough to get tickets.
Which ironically, we went past on our magical mystery tour back from Nottingham on Monday. Which we'll get to later.
Yeah.
Middlesbrough versus Rotherham.
It's absolutely the closest I've been to the Asiel Stadium in my life.
The Asiel New York Stadium. I saw someone on Facebook. In fact, it was Phil from the quiz had put. Hilarious to see that Solskjaer's already resorting to Mourinho-style tactics. It's hilarious. He won't even make it to September next season.
He will.
I don't think he will. I honestly, like I said to you on Monday, I honestly think they've said we've given him the job. I don't know why we have. Because I just don't think he's got the nous to control the egos. I know he'd obviously got on playing and stuff like that, but a lot of that is definitely new manager bounce.
The honeymoon.
Yeah.
I think he'll do all right.
Well, I suppose time will tell. I suppose depends who they bring in.
I'd like to think that they'd let him have some time as well.
Yeah,
I think they'll realise that. I mean, you look at Ferguson years ago. I mean, I know it was a different owner and stuff like that. He was really close to being fired in his first couple of years.
Well, they said, didn't they, that if he'd have...
the FA Cup win that saved him?
I don't think it was a win, it was like a FA Cup quarter-final or something like that. Mark Robbins scored literally a last-minute equaliser, or possibly a last-minute winner, and it saved him his job because he was getting sacked if they didn't win that game, or draw, or progress in that cup competition.
And then they won that cup.
And then 25 years later...
Then went and won the Cup Winners' Cup.
Yeah, and then 27 years later or something, he became the greatest manager that's ever lived and ever been in the game.
So I think you do need to give it, Yeah. Give him a bedtime.
Give him a bedtime? Give him a nice bedtime story.
No.
Come on, Ollie. Let's go. Let's talk about this. Right, what are we doing? Are we breaking down the game, or do you want to do next week's predictions first?
Well, let's finish up with the week. I've already written some...
So, Middlesbrough playing...
Sorry, I thought you were going to break down the game.
Middlesbrough playing...
Oh, sorry.
Terribly.
Well, I'll tell you what. As the team that won, I think you should probably go first with your roundup of the game.
I don't really... Well, I think, as you predicted, don't have too much to say. Borough didn't play great. I don't even think Forest played... great.
So this is the exact same thing of when you've covered in the games podcast with JK. Good games are hard to review because
good movies, good games,
hard to review.
Because once you've said it was good, or it is good, or I enjoy it.
I mean, from my point of view,
you kind
slightly different for a football game because you can say good passing, good movement. They were off the ball. They worked
dominated from the start.
Forest were pretty solid.
They worked back in.
You didn't offer anything.
Fours and stuff like that. This is the thing. Forest didn't have to be good to win that game.
But that's it.
Borough were absolutely terrible.
If Forest have literally just turned up, and Borough have turned up and gone, well, we can't play football. Say our lives.
I mean, they were. Yeah, I mean, Forest were all right.
Thing I noticed about the game was that you might have picked up on this as well. For the first 40 minutes, no energy, no tempo. Neither side seemed interested to me. It was a very, slow game. Like I even said to you at one point, I don't think anyone's been caught offside in this game yet.
It was
if Forest weren't having to try and Middlesbrough weren't putting the effort in, they're not going to.
Yeah, it was a very strange atmosphere.
Forest did throw out like a bit of a end of season. Let's give people a try style lineup. If we'd have been genuinely in that playoff hunt, I don't think James Panas is starting.
No,
game.
Absolutely not. So let's think about it. So
Forest, the backup quarterback.
Forest have gone 4 games without. Well, they've lost the last 4 at this point. Yeah.
4, and then we'll tag on prior to that a draw against Ipswich.
Yeah. So they've had 5 pretty terrible results prior to this.
Yeah.
Borough have just come off the back of a 3-game winning streak, and they've got the buoyance of being in the playoffs again. And it's sort of being in their hands. So on paper,
Borough won 3 up till that point.
Borough won the last 3.
They won 2 in our previous predictions, and they won on Friday.
They beat Bolton. They then beat Hull, and then they beat. So
I've got Hull City. They won 1-0.
Yeah.
Before that, Bolton
2-0 Bolton,
and then they won on Friday against Stoke.
The one we've just covered.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So like, on paper, you'd argue that of the 2, Borough should have gone into that game as the favourite.
Yeah.
They had the momentum behind them. You know, they were playing sort of well. But just from the kick-off, it just felt flat to me. Like there was like
disappointing as well because like it was like a real good day as well. It was like a balmy day, wasn't it?
Nice hot day.
Plenty of Borough fans out and about in the city centre.
Yeah, a nice like nothing like untoward kicking off or anything like that. There was no annoyance or anything like that. You know, everyone was like getting on. I don't remember seeing many like sort of like fans talking amongst themselves and stuff like that. But I imagine if they were, it was like it should probably be the Clough derby, blah blah blah. You know. Was born in the Borough but had his greatest years as Forest manager. And then the game started and even the crowd sort of wasn't that bothered, it seemed at times. It was just a bit sort of like, you know what, I'm probably just more interested that the sun's on me.
Mm.
And then obviously they got the penner and that. I mean,
I can't even remember the challenge. Who went for that?
So the ball broke on the left hand side for Forest as they were attacking.
Johnny was as far as it got brought down, wasn't it?
Yeah, so Johnny Howson comes over to clear the ball, but Adam Clayton's tracking back. So Johnny Howson's playing as the right wing back, and Adam Clayton's in holding midfield, and they basically just like converge on the ball, get it, totally fuck it up.
Was it Zhao?
I don't know if it was Lolly. Lolly nicked in, and then basically was off. Then he played Anas Farad. But yeah, his first touch he took him away from the defender into the box, and then Ryan shot and brought him down. And on the radio they said it should have been an absolute stonewall red card.
But you only got what it had been.
Jesus Christ! If we'd have gone down to 10, we could have lost 10-0. We'd have been absolutely fucking creamed.
It might have gone well for you actually, because you might have just parked the bus at that point.
Maybe we'd have just gone, oh fucking hell, let's just keep it at 1. So. Forest had the penalty. I mean, this was like the 42nd minute or something, so it was just before half time. That's always going to change the complexion of the game because obviously now Borough are properly on the back foot. Like Pulis is having to rip up his team talk at half time and stuff. Right, you know, if you're going at 0-0, it's a case of right, first 10 minutes of the second half, just keep it tight, keep your shape, try and play the balls in behind because they were doing that quite a lot. The ball was they'd get the ball back, they'd recycle it through the back 4, give it to Mikel. Give it to Bezic, and then Bezic would try and play with either Ashley Fletcher or a Sombolonga in round the back. But it was never coming off. Like there was always the balls were either too close to the defender, or there was too much on it. And it was going out for a goal kick.
Because then he made that double substitution at half time. Neither of us could understand.
Well, he took off
the players withdrawn.
So he took off. Bezic and Fletcher at half time, brought on Tavernier and Hugel. So he took off the holding. Well, he took off
Hugel for Fletcher's like for
Hugel for Fletcher up top, like for like substitution. He took off sort of the attacker of the three midfielders, the guy who sort of like who sits and dictates the play. and put on a winger in Tavernier, I'm assuming the idea was that he'd have Tavernier floating in behind the front two to basically just sort of like dance around and just try and pick up the second balls and stuff like that. Definitely didn't work.
There was chances to get behind us because like Cash was playing very high. For
so Matty
because he's not a fullback.
So Matty Cash, who in previous weeks has been listed as a striker,
he's very definitely an attacking midfielder in the same vein as Lolly.
Was playing right back. I think at about the 25-minute mark, you just sort of leaned into me and said,
"He's the furthest forward."
I'm getting worried about this. My OCD's kicking off big time because the right back is further up the pitch than the left attacking midfielder.
Yeah.
And it's kind of doing weird. And I was like, okay.
Alright. I didn't make it sound quite that creepy.
I don't want to, upset anyone, but of the two of you, I'm surprised it was you that was saying that.
Yeah. No, I think he's making it creepy. But no, you know what I mean? Like, he was really bombing up.
Seriously.
He wasn't getting penalised for it, though.
For me, I think I spotted that after about 10 minutes. I would have been like, at that point, as the opposing team, right? You basically play that ball into the deep left channel any time you get, because if Forest are attacking down the right hand side, 9 times out of 10 it's going to be Cash, and if you get the ball back, he's automatically out of position. So if you just drop that ball in behind, anyone with pace. Which is a fucking premium in the Borough team, they're in. And
the worst case scenario is you only need to do it a couple of times, and even if you don't get anything out of it, you're going to drive him back.
Yeah, it's going to stop him from making those runs. So, but they just never...
And incidentally, that's exactly what Sheffield United did to us at the weekend with Colback, playing as the makeshift left back.
So
as soon
as Colback got booked in that game, he couldn't go anywhere. He just basically had to sit.
Even before he got booked, though, you could see from the off, they were forcing the right wing.
So, yeah, all in all, just disappointing. I mean, they just looked... You can never say that a player doesn't look bothered, because at the end of the day, they're a professional footballer, and like, if you question their sort of professionalism,
if you were both sitting there now with that score, and you were saying that is the best game Forest have played all season. In fact, that's the best game Forest have played, in the last 5 years, and you're sitting there going, I know we lost, but Middlesbrough gave it their all. That's a different story.
Absolutely. So it's weird that you're sat here like happy as Larry, to be fair, because your team won 3-0. If Borough had been 50% on their game, that game wouldn't have finished 3-0.
No.
Had Forest not got that first half penalty, I honestly think we could have watched a 0-0 there.
Well, I think you did say at one point this has got 0-0.
Yeah, for the first half an hour, neither team was looking to get in behind. Neither team was looking to sort of
I can't remember a shot on target.
No, I can't remember a shot on target. There was a chance in the first half. I can't remember if it was. I think it might have been Lolly, and it literally clipped off somebody and literally just landed the opposite side of the post.
Oh yeah.
That was the only real attack of any note. I can't remember Pantilimon having a save to make in the entire game. In fact, I'm going to have to look at that because I can't remember him making a save. So I don't know if we had a shot on target. Oh no, we had a shot on target because you turned to me at one point and was like, "Oh, that'll go. There was a shot on target for you boys."
But my point,
it dribbled through.
My
to
point
the
there is,
keeper.
as a football player, you're getting paid. You're up there as your wages. You're up there as a high earner.
Mm.
Yeah.
But what you're saying is that's like it's bin day, and you go out into the street and you go, only half of these bins have been emptied. What's going on here? Because your bin man has turned up that day and gone, I don't feel like doing half a job today. I've turned up.
I see where you're going with this. I mean,
basically, what it needed.
When you're getting paid an astronomical amount of money, you need to be on your game every game. And everybody has a bad day, but you've got 10 other players to pick up the slack.
Basically, it needed any one of the Borough players just to sort of go, right, I'm going to take the initiative here. We're getting beat. at this point, doesn't really matter if we concede another one. I'm going to just take this game by the scruff of the neck. I'm going to chase down every single ball, regardless if it takes me out of position or not. Yeah. Show some passion, show some heart. It'll maybe sort of give a kick up the arse to the rest of the players and I'll see if he's trying.
It ignites the
crowd.
I need to
up my sort of
strangely,
game.
It ignites the crowd. The crowd get behind the players. The players feed off that.
But you left it until you were 2-0 down.
Yeah.
And by that point, there's a lot of space for us to be countering.
So I've had a look at the stats.
Mm-hmm.
Possession, 54% possession to Forest, 46 to Borough, which makes it sound a lot tighter than it actually was. Shots, 12 for Forest, 3 for Borough. Don't remember those two other fucking shots. 9 on target for Forest, 1 on target for Borough. So
I remember that when you said that. I remember that. I'm sure it was like deflected and just
dribbled back to Pantilimon. So the 9 shots on target for Forest, when we said it could have been 6, absolutely correct, because Randolph played out of his fucking skin. You wouldn't put him at fault for any of the goals. The penalty was a fucking stonker. It dawned on me just now. Lolly hit that fucking smasher in the first game this season, didn't he? That we didn't see because we were too busy polishing off our beer.
We were late to get back to our seats again.
We were too busy polishing off our pint. No pie this time, though. Just pint.
I know I've told this story a million times before, but I will never forget the day of a lovely warm bottle of Coke to go with my ice cold pie at Bootham Crescent.
Oh man, that was bad. I think that was just that was a pre-season friendly, from what I seem to remember.
Yeah.
Piping hot day, but on the walk to the ground, it absolutely fucking shat it down.
Yeah.
So we got to the ground, and obviously, have you been to Bootham before?
Was the mascot there once?
Oh, here we go. So obviously Bootham Crescent.
It's the only time I've ever been.
Brilliant. Bootham Crescent, away end, completely open to the elements. So no roof, no nothing. So.
What were you doing in the away end?
Because it was York versus Borough.
Oh,
pre-season
right,
for Borough. Yeah, so we were in the hole in the wall, I seem to remember, before the game.
Were we on the exhibition?
No, we started in the hole in the wall. We might have gone into the exhibition for another one, but we started at the hole in the wall.
And Get thirsty from the hole in the wall to exhibition.
It's when we left the hole in the wall.
2 minutes.
We left the hole in the wall and we were like, it's pretty.
That one was good.
I'm just going to fucking lash you down here. So we might have popped in the exhibition to see if we could sort of wait out.
I think
and then we got to 20 minutes before the game. We're like, for fuck's sake, we should have to go for it. So we got down.
If you're going to get wet in the stadium, what's it matter how wet you get on the way?
Well, to be fair, the sun came out and it dried us out, and then obviously it was like half time. It was a case of let's go get some refreshments. And then literally, it's never been like it. So the best thing about it was the fact that the guy pulled he actually opened the fridge door to get the bottle of Diet Coke out, and then passed it to me and was like, "See, is that even on, mate?" And then passed him his pie.
Tell me it came out of the fucking pie oven.
Passed him his pie or whatever it was. It was just like
not out of the pie oven.
Stone cold. And yeah,
as someone who does enjoy the peppered steak sliced straight from the fridge, I don't mind that.
Yeah, but this was, when pastry gets to that certain temperature where it's basically like raw. This was that.
I don't think I've got anything else to add to the game. Just no fight, no passion, no heart, nothing. I mean,
certainly.
Yeah, just one of those games where you just.
Certainly not the team that started the season. That's
no.
Sure.
I mean,
it took it in good spirits though, because you actually no one would have known you were. No, I was. I have this problem whenever I sort of sit in the home end watching Borough play. I tend to sort of get into it for the home team. Yeah.
But obviously not cheering them on. It's a case of But I've always liked to think of myself as a fairly neutral supporter.
A fan of football.
A neutral fan when it comes to the game. So if Borough win a throw or something and it's not that it's come off the other guy, it's come off the Borough player, so I was like, that's definitely not. That's definitely shouldn't have gone that way. Or a free kick. That's definitely not a free kick.
Yeah, there was some ropey free kick decisions going
both ways. I mean, it was just like there's absolutely. But there was times when it was a case of so there's this. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was something like. There's a play that always seems to happen, and it's a case of a player sort of doesn't get clipped, but he almost like gets like shrugs off a challenge, but then starts to go down as if he's been clipped, and the ref gives the free kick every time.
Oh, it was the defender, because you would like defenders winning that every single time.
And then there was one where the defender sort of plays it round someone, but he's overrun it, so he goes to the ground because he was in a bit of a challenge, like a 50-50 challenge to someone, and then as soon as you throw yourself to the ground, you win the free kick every time. And that happened about 4 or 5 times. You were like, that's not a free kick. But
use your initiative. Come on.
That's the thing. It's just annoying.
And obviously, off the bucket list, you've seen Pele playing now.
Oh, but we didn't, did we? We saw.
He just is it Santos?
Something like that.
He doesn't have Pele.
It was sort of a generic Spanishy sounding like Perez or something like that. But his name is Pele.
He's Pele, but he doesn't have Pele in his shirt.
He looked like a fucking unit, man. He was fucking
he's like a tall Fred.
he looked like he was fucking stacked. So it was like, huh? No wonder we didn't get any change out of him. But again, I don't like. No offence, I don't remember. None of the Forest players had an outstanding game. Molly played okay.
On Team of the Week,
Carvalho played all right.
I think Lolly is like 8.9 and Carvalho is 8.8.
I mean, that's overly generous.
It is, yeah.
They were like
Lolly got 2 goals, but he wasn't the threat I thought he would. I think half that is though that they didn't play him on. He normally plays on the right, and he tended to play on the left. I think that was to offset again the fact that Cash was.
Well, it was to balance. It was to balance them off, wasn't it?
Normally they both play on the opposite wing, so they can both cut in.
So hang on a second. So then was Lolly not playing more through the centre with Osborne out on the left? Maybe it was Osborne.
No, Osborne was.
I could have sworn Osborne was off the left. Yeah, he was, because he was always in the first half. He was the one who was. Oh, I'd forgotten about it in the first half. There was a. I don't know. Osborne must have won a free. He must have won a throw, but was pretty much near the corner flag. And the old quick thinking throw, because you can't be offside from a throw. And someone just absolutely launched it down the line.
And he just stood on the in the
corner. Osborne
was
pretty much on the corner flag, and then just basically cut back inside and whipped the ball in. And we were like, it's quite a good play, that.
Yeah, was it? I don't know if it was him again, but we did that a second time as well, where we're massively.
And I just turned to you and said, right, if they get caught out by that again, purists should be going fucking mental at that, because they've just switched off. They've completely switched off with the fact that it's a throw, and if Forest score from it, they can have no complaints. But they didn't score from it. They scored from just everywhere out. So, yeah.
I think we've
dissected that to death.
Middlesbrough versus
Reading. The James Keep.
Oh, tell us we can get Keep on it next week.
Why don't we get into the game? I'd love to. I've got to move my shit into.
I've got Rotherham here.
No, that's the last game of the season.
That's a week on Sunday, which possibly might fancy going to.
Luke Shaw, you dirty bastard!
Didn't see that.
Middlesbrough versus Reading.
Fucking hell, Luke Shaw, 11 bookings for the season.
I think we know the goal scorer for Reading.
I don't think Shakir Slop's got a chance.
Here's what?
Even if he was still playing.
1-0 Reading.
He's just gonna have straight out with the hands, straight over the Championship's best keeper.
This week in football, how have we not talked about Fletcher's goal at the weekend?
Oh,
we'll get back to that. We've got more this week in football to come.
I'll defer to you because you're the one who saw it.
Yeah. Anyway,
right. Who wants to go first? James.
I mean, Red not that far above the relegation zone, aren't they?
They're 6 points clear.
Yeah, I'm not saying they're going to get relegated, but they're down there. They're not a good team.
They're 6 points clear with the relegation zone, with 2 games to play and a far superior goal difference to Rotherham. It's going to take a miracle for them to go down.
Norwich Reading, that's possibly the best defence Norwich have come up against this year. Based on your attack,
and Reading are on a bit of form. I think they've not lost in 4, so it's probably their best run of the season.
But it is at the Riverdance.
It's at the Riverdance. They normally don't do that well when they come up here.
Yeah, I'll go for. I still think you win that. I'll go for 2-0. No,
I would take a 1-0 off Paul McShane's left bollock.
Scorers.
1-0, Paul McShane's left bollock.
Bezic. Is he going to play? He'll play, won't he?
Well, do you know what? He'd be fully within his rights to totally just play the fucking youth team after that performance on Saturday. No, other than Randolph, no one deserves to keep their place. Absolutely no one.
And now, so are you playing 2 up top all
Currently,
the time?
Currently, he's been playing this 3-4-1-2 or the 3-5-2, depending on how you look at it. With Fletcher and Assombalonga as the top 2.
Right, okay.
Wouldn't surprise me if he changed it and puts Hugel up front on his own on Saturday. Not at all. Plays a 4-5-1.
Was Rudy on the bench?
Rudy was on the bench.
Gusted.
Tell you something.
I'm going to go for Gusted.
Do you know what? That's probably not a bad shout, because if Assombalonga, Fletcher and Hugel were all shit on Monday...
I don't know if you can really blame Hugel too much.
Fuck it. What? He came on. The only thing he did in the game was try to get himself and Milosevic sent off.
Okay, he didn't.
All right. Useless arse.
There's my prediction. There's my goals.
Andrew.
Middlesbrough 1. Reading 1.
Yep, that doesn't surprise me.
You're only allowed to go for that if you can name it.
If I can name it, because I was going to follow up with, I know one Reading player who doesn't play.
You could go Randolph own goal.
No, you can't. The Championship's best goalkeeper does not score own goals. Trust me.
Football pundit told me recently, going to score every game for the rest of the season.
Brett.
Ashley Fletcher. So Reading's team on Saturday. Sorry, I keep saying Saturday. On Monday against West Brom was as follows: Andy Yadom at right back, Miazga, Moore, Blackett as the back 4, Rinom Hotter and Baker as the 2 in midfield, with Mete, Barrow and Ejaria in the midfield, along with Oliveira up top.
Right.
I'd be on a bit of Blackett there.
Baker.
Ooh. Ex-Borough. Interesting. Nice, I like it.
So what have you got?
1-0 Borough. 1-0 Borough.
Left bollock.
Literally, I'm tempted to say own goal. Just because I honestly think we'll take whatever the fuck we can get at this point. And it might have to be just a scrambled own goal.
Well, if you don't really know, why don't you just base it on who's your penalty taker? Just go. That's your best chance of a goal.
Well, it used to be Ledbetter, but he's gone. Hugel took.
He scored the other day.
Possibly. I don't know if he's been playing for some last couple of games. Yeah, stick me down Hugel, because I won't be surprised if he starts. Again, I'm so tempted to say fucking Gusted, just because of how fucking shit they've all been. Seriously, if we don't go up, which is looking more and more likely, they need to get a new striker for next season, or some creativity in the midfield.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it boils down to.
Nottingham.
Do you even know what you're playing?
Yeah, it's Bolton.
Bolton Wanderers. Yeah, it's absolutely not Bolton.
Is it not?
It's absolutely not Bolton.
Is Bolton last in QPR?
Bolton versus Brentford.
Is it Bolton last in QPR?
Yeah, it's QPR versus Nottingham Forest.
QPR this game. Who's going first?
He can. I don't know what to think about this one. I thought QPR was the last one, so I've not thought this through.
Oh, it's top banter that Liverpool can get 97 points and still not win the league. That is hilarious. Oh my god.
Well, they can get that when you look at like how few points there is at the bottom of the league. when Brighton are going to stay up on 34 at this rate.
I will go with QPR 1, Nottingham Forest 1.
Goal scorers.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say that. Joe Lolly, just because. A lot of people say that will come back to the Championship team of the season, but a lot of people saying Lolly should have been in there. I reckon he might struggle to hold on to him in the summer.
He had a really good first half of the season.
QPR's goal will be scored by... I wonder if he's still playing. Yeah. Put me down for Easy. E-Z-E.
Oh, not
Easy E.
Yeah!
From NWA. Nice. Mr. Panas.
For someone who likes a footballer with a musical name, he's all over that one.
Remember that for later.
I think it's 2-0 to Forest. I think we'll win out this season. Just to make it annoying.
Gorers.
Lolly, and I'll have a bit of Carvalho.
Carvalho!
Yeah. If he gets I think he played well enough that he'll keep his place.
And I have gone for...
So obviously Grubman will score now.
1-0 Forest. Lolly. Is that the only game then?
It's the only game.
So, let's talk Turkey.
Let's talk a little sly bets.
Does my bet from the other day roll over then?
Did you take £1 off him?
I did.
Money exchange.
I did. Apologies.
You didn't take £1 off me because we were going to do it at the time.
What's happened there?
There we go. Some snazzy socks you've got on there.
Hang on a second.
What?
So, just go back to the bets.
From last week?
Yeah.
We'd never won something.
Did someone predict Sheffield United 2-0 and Middlesbrough 1-0?
Where's my fucking money?
You have won £35.
Give me
We
that
didn't even know!
How did we not
fucking
know?
money!
I just looked and I was thinking, why have I got cash in my account?
Oh, yeah, boy!
See, it's a good job we couldn't put on the double then, isn't it?
It's a good point we couldn't put on the treble.
That's what I mean, we couldn't put on the
Oh
game.
my word! Incredible! Oh wow. Andrew.
Oh,
That's enough that we're probably up.
coming out.
If we're putting
We've
3
not put
on a week, it's
what do
not
you
been
mean
going
we?
on for 10.
What do you mean we?
Oh, like that, is it?
It's not our winnings, is it?
Here we go.
Of course it is. This is a
It is
joint
winnings.
affair. This is a joint effort, isn't it?
Well, I thought, that was a point. Weren't we putting the winnings into buying a producer?
Yeah, we'll get a producer for the podcast.
Oh man, amazing.
That's quite impressive.
Right, so what do we need? All matches by day.
I can't believe you honestly didn't even know.
Completely forgot. Right, Middlesbrough versus
What did
Reading.
you think? When you nailed both things earlier for your points, did you not think...
I didn't even... Because I'm so used to us never getting anything out of these predictions.
Right, Andrew, you said 1-1 for Middlesbrough Reading, yeah?
1-1 Middlesbrough Reading.
6-1.
And a 1-0.
To the Forest. Or to the QPR.
To the Forest.
A 0-1 away win. 9-1. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's only gone and given you the best number.
£69.
61. 69, what am I about? So your £1 will return £70. So basically what it means is this time next week I'll be paying you £70.
Well, looks like.
James, what did you say?
For which one?
2-0.
Forest.
2-0.
2-0.
0-2 is 14-1. And you said... For the Borough?
2-0's all around.
2-0 for the Borough. 6-1 on that. That gives James a double of 104 to 1.
Good money. Paul Williams has a 1-0 and a 1-all.
1-0 Borough, 11-2. And Nottingham Forest QPR. 1-1. 11-2. The double of £41.25 to 1. So £42.25 return. The bets are on, ladies.
Locked in. Locked in.
Absolutely incredible.
So, we need to go back to this week in football.
James does.
Talk to me, Goose.
There was just an outrageous goal in the Norwich Sheffield United game on Friday night. I don't. Well, you can do links, can't you? But I'm just going to give you the video and watch your reaction to it. I don't know. Well, I mean, it's is VAR coming to the Championship?
I don't think it is.
It needs.
I think it's just the Premier League.
It really needs to. So in the Norwich Chef Wednesday game, there was an absolutely incredible goal for Wednesday.
Okay.
He smashed it from what? It must be 25 yards. Maybe it's more. Forestieri's.
Ooh. Stonker.
It's a beautiful goal.
The weird thing about it is the fact that he's on the ball. He shapes to shoot. He gets closed down. So he turns out as if he's going to go back to the midfielders. Loses the guy. So then turns back into play. Gets it out of his feet and just rockets it in the top corner. It's outrageous. It shouldn't happen. It's really weird. And then, you had this the other day. It's playing. You just need to leave it. And then Forest go on to score the goal that puts them ahead.
Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday. I keep saying Forest, isn't it?
So that's Norwich manager right there.
You might skip it. I need to skip it right until the end.
This is the one that he's on about. So he's like, oh, he's missed his chance. He's turning around. He's turning around. Oh, is it? Oh, it's gone in.
Smasher.
I mean, that looks maybe like it could be 30 yards, that one. In the end.
It's good ball control.
But I'm hoping.
Good ball control.
He's a good player. He's not played much this season. I don't know if it's because he's like in trouble with the law or something.
Whoa!
He had a warrant out for his arrest at one point, didn't he?
Not a rapé.
What?
Not a rapé.
What?
A scape.
I don't know what that means. I don't think it was for rape, no.
Alright, so it's not showing the goal that I wanted to show you. But I'm just gonna have to find it because it's stupid, isn't it?
Now then.
It is an outrageous.
So this is a bit ropey though because it's someone taking a video from his TV.
Wow.
But when it comes up, you can see from there already. Yeah, you get closer, or yeah, you're good. You can see a link in a little bit, you guys. So he's like, that's the goalie. Like, no, that was definitely a handball. Ref's like, nah, you're having a goal for that. And then when you watch it,
you have yourself a little gap, mate.
Come on, show it again. It gets worse with every angle. So you're watching this guy down here. He's going to go in for a little slide with the keeper in a minute. He's going in for it. Oh, there's a little bit of a tumble. Oh, the ball's ended up in the net. What's gone on there? I think it's bumbled in. It's a bit dirty. Watch his hand. Alright, yeah, so the keeper's leg's in the way, so he's just gone, oh, I'll slip it over your leg. What's this? In the way. With his hand. Whee!
Wow.
With every angle that you see, it gets worse and worse and worse.
Hey, it's just dawned on me.
He's upset.
You need to get a win this week.
So
that's
look
it.
at that.
Is he about to go to double figures?
No. I'm pointing out the fact that Stu managed to get a win against me.
Yeah, but are you as dominant at wrestling? Stu actually knows wrestling.
So, let's make it... Let's give you a fair chance.
Yeah. Can one of the questions be... When were Middlesbrough in the playoff final?
There are 3 possible quizzes this week. So, I'll read the titles of the quizzes, and then you pick the one that you think you've got a better chance.
It makes it even worse when you lose, doesn't it? Go on then.
First quiz from The Guardian.
What's the date today? We're on 24?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, week commencing 22nd
Correct.
for you.
Football quiz. Identify the Premier League players by their statistics.
I'm just trying to measure a reaction on the face there. Okay.
So, the only thing is... Now, he hasn't had any prior information, but I do believe, and I can check, when I was reading these out earlier, there was something about the age. No, this is from 2013.
Right.
So that's one. Premier League at 25, the big quiz. This is from 2017. Again, The Guardian. Who was ambipedal? Who eschewed Englishmen and which Italian from Premier League at 25. Fans from 47 clubs on their best and worst memories. I don't know what any of this is.
No.
So that's your second option.
I think I'm ruling that option out. I think he's going to kill me on 2017 knowledge.
And your third option. Premier League records quiz. Do you know which players these incredible achievements belong to? It's from the Mirror. So those are your 3 options. You've already vetoed one.
Other papers are also available.
Which do you think you stand a better chance at? Basically, they're 2 what appear to be stats quizzes.
We'll go for the first option.
So, that
2013 stats.
Well,
is that the one you would have wanted?
Not necessarily. It's the stats are up to 2013.
Yeah.
So, football quiz. Identify the Premier League player by their statistics.
True as of the 2013.
So it's basically the first one is a who am I. There's a load of stats, and then it's multiple choice.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then the next one's who am I. It's all who am I. Load of stats.
How many are we going at?
Multiple choice. Answer is lovely 10.
Cool.
Okay.
Question number.
As always, I'll be playing along because that's how it works. Play along at home, send us your scores. You know the drill by now. This is theguardian.com. Question number 1. Who am I? No player has scored more own goals than me in the last 4 seasons in the Premier League. What? Than me? What the No player has scored more own goals than me in the last 4 seasons in the Premier League than me. Doesn't read right. It's got 4 in brackets. Don't make any sense. Let's try another one. I have only scored 7 goals in that time, but they have come from just 14 shots on
Is this still
target.
the same question?
Yep.
Oh, all right.
I have 86 more appearances than any other number 37 in the last 4 Premier League seasons.
You never know who this is.
I'm going to guess.
So, 4 options. Martin Skirtle, Jamie Carragher, Titus Bramble, Jay Boothroyd.
Oh, I thought he was going
Jim Boothroyd.
I take it the one he thought it was. Okay, now.
Well, he didn't do the... Oh, Who am I for question 2? I'm the only Spaniard to score a counter-attacking Premier League goal this season.
Wow, fucking hell.
That goal came from my only shot in 12 appearances so far. Fernando Torres has only scored one more Premier League goal in Chelsea's favour than me this season, even though I don't play for them. Your options.
Jesus.
Mikel Arteta, Nacho Monreal, Angel Rangel, Antonio Luna.
Oh my God.
Question 3. Who am I? I have made more Premier League appearances this season without winning a single aerial duel than any other player.
Oh, it's down with it.
Now, after the appearances this season, in brackets it says 16. Only 2 players have created more chances in the Premier League this season than me. In brackets it says 39. No player has picked up more assists, in brackets it says 3, in any away Premier League game in the last 5 seasons than I did in August 2011.
This sounds like a really shit CV.
It's really hard, these.
Your options. Mesut Ozil, Samir
Nasri.
Right. Steven Gerrard, Juan Mata.
I sort of blacked out halfway through the stuff you were saying.
Can I have the first two stats?
I've made more Premier League appearances this season, 16, without winning a single aerial duel than any other player. Only 2 players have created more chances in the Premier League this season than me, 39. No player has picked up more assists, 3, in any away Premier League game in the last 5 seasons than I did in August 2011. Question 4. Who am I? I have made more goal line clearances than any other player in the Premier League this season. 3. I was ever present for my country of Euro 2012, at Euro 2012, sorry. No defender to make at least 10 Premier League appearances this season has committed fewer fouls than me. 2. Your options are Glenn Johnson, Martin Olsen.
Yeah, that's right.
Matteo Debuchy. Ashley Cole. Who am I? I've won possession the most times in the defensive, 63, and midfield, 89, 3rd in the Premier League this season. 10% of my key passes has resulted in an assist this season. Only 1 player has made more interceptions, 51, than me in the Premier League this season.
If I didn't know this was written in 2008, like, can't I?
Your options. Yusuf Mulumbu. Victor Wanyama. Lee Katamol. Mile Jedinak. Question 6. Who am I? Only 1 player has completed a dribble more often than me in the league this season.
Sorry, were you? I honestly thought you were just like dribble.
Every 18.7 minutes. No player has made more substitute appearances than I have in the league this season. I have created just 4 chances for teammates in 12 appearances, but do have an assist to my name. Options. Kim Bo Kyung.
What?
Who?
Say that again.
Kim Bo Kyung.
I honestly don't know what that is.
Gerard Deulofeu.
Deulofeu.
Raheem Sterling. Nathan Redmond.
That's interesting.
What the... Right, there's a weird thing on this one. Who am I? I had a shot more often than any other midfielder this season, every 19.8 minutes. I have averaged the most accurate through balls in the league this season, 0.6 per game. My statistically calculated weaknesses are aerial duels, holding on to the ball, crossing, defensive, centre button. It's blurry, I can't read it. Defensive something. Can't read it.
These stats are insane.
I didn't realise we were measuring accuracy of through balls.
Felipe Coutinho.
Philippe Coutinho.
Mesut Ozil. Johan Kabaya.
Goodbye.
Andros Townsend.
Shit.
Did you already written one?
No. Drop my pen.
Oh.
Who am I? This is question 8. I have delivered more accurate crosses than any other defender this season, 16. I have scored 5 goals since the start of last season, having scored just twice in my previous 206 league appearances for my club. I have made at least 11 more tackles than any other teammate this season, 41. Your options. Leighton Baines, Patrice Evra, Mathieu Debuchy, Glenn Johnson. Question 9. Who am I? I have made the most interceptions in the league this season, 55. I have won at least 37 more aerial duels than any other midfielder this season. 81?
I think I've just nudged that one.
Only one other player from my country has played in the league this season.
Right.
Options. Yusufu Mulumbu.
Yusuf Mulumbu.
Morgan
Schneiderlin.
Yep. Mile Jedinak.
Mila Jedinak.
Ahmed Elmo
Ahmed Al Mohammadi.
Yeah, that one.
I need those options again. I can remember Jedinak and Al Mohammadi.
Yusuf Mulumbu.
Yeah.
Morgan Schneiderlin. Mile Jedinak. Ahmed Elmo Hamadi. 10th and final. Who am I? I have had more shots than any other goalless player in the Premier League this season, 31. In fact, it has been 975 days since I last scored a league goal.
Sounds like 3 years.
Only 2 players have created more chances from set pieces in the Premier League this season than me, 14. Options. Stuart Downing, Tom Huddleston, Michael Carrick, Nanny.
How confident are you with these?
Not at all.
You always say that.
Literally not at all. So I'm having to base it on, other than the first one, which I'm fairly confident about just because of his number.
Something different. Well, no, I've got more down.
Just because of his number.
You know people's numbers?
Yes, because I'm a fucking mentalist, aren't I?
Oh, okay.
Question number 1. I'll rattle through these because they were long. No player has scored more goals than me in the last 4 seasons of the Premier League than me. I've only scored 7 goals in that time, but they have come from just 14 shots on target. I have 86 more appearances than any other number, 37 in the last 4 Premier League seasons. Answer is...
Martin Skirtle.
Not Martin Skirtle.
Well, it is, so...
Yeah, I would ramble.
I didn't go for that.
It's just because I think he's the only one on that list that was number 30.
I like the name Titus. So
I went Titus Bramble.
Yeah. Titus Bramble. Amazing at Ipswich. Terrible anywhere else.
Where do you go? Newcastle,
Sunderland, I think, do that for it.
I am the only Spaniard to score a counter-attacking Premier League goal this season. That goal came from my only shot in 12 appearances so far. Fernando Torres, 2, has only scored 1 more Premier League goal in Chelsea's favour than me this season. 1. Even though I don't play for them, answer is...
I've gone Angol Rangel.
I've gone Nacho Monreal.
So, one person in this room got the answer right.
Is it you?
And neither other person is you. Antonio Luna.
I was gonna put him down.
Know who he is.
He used to play. He wasn't here for long, but he played for Villa for a couple of seasons or for a season.
Presumably got an own goal.
3
against Chelsea.
Who am I? I have made more Premier League appearances this season, 16, without winning a single aerial duel than any other player. Only 2 players have created more chances in the Premier League this season than me, 39. No player has picked up more assists, 3 in an away Premier League game in the last 5 seasons than I did in August 2011. Answer is...
I've gone Mata, because I thought that he's pretty short, so he doesn't usually win any headers.
I just thought that Mesut Ozil's a proper fanny, that's why he doesn't win any headers. Ozil, just because I know he's known for assists, isn't he?
Yeah, but there was 2 players that's got more assists than him. And I don't think he's normally out of the top 2.
And I went with Steven Gerrard. So all 3 of us were wrong. Samir Nasri. Right. Who am I? I've made more goal line clearances than any other player in the Premier League this season. 3. I was ever present for my country at Euro 2012. No defender to make at least 10 Premier League appearances this season has committed fewer fouls than me. 2. Answer is...
Ashley Cole.
I put Ashley Cole.
I did not put Ashley Cole.
Okay, so you might have got it right then.
I went Glenn Johnson.
You did not get it right. It was Martin Olsen. Who am I? Question 5.
This is awful.
I've won possession the most times at the defensive, 63, and midfield, 89. 3rd in the Premier League this season. 10% of my key passes have resulted in an assist this season. Only 1 player has made more interceptions, 51, than me in the Premier League this season. And the answer is...
Mila Jedinak.
I have also gone Mila Jedinak.
Victor Wanyama is who I went with.
Oh, I was going to say, because I didn't. Was he even in the Premier League in that?
Wanyama time for so
we're all in the same boat of being completely wrong. It was Youssef Malumbu.
Youssef Malumbu, bastard.
Who am I? Question 6. Only 1 player has completed a dribble more often than me in the league this season.
He loved to fucking run with the ball, this kid.
Every 18.7 minutes. No player has made more substitute appearances than I have in the league this season.
I don't think he really started.
I have created just 4 chances for my teammates in 12 appearances, but do have an assist to my name. Answer is...
Deulofeu?
I have also gone Deulofeu.
I didn't. But I should have done.
Deulofeu loved a run. He loved a mazy dribble.
Who am I? This is the one that was really blurry.
You know this one?
No, we've both come for the same guy.
I had a shot more often than any other midfielder this season, every 19.8 minutes. I have averaged the most accurate through balls in the league this season, 0.6 per game. My statistical calculated weaknesses are aerial duels, holding onto the ball, crossing, defensive. Oh, maybe contribution.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, go on.
Didn't he say something like headbutting before? Yohan Cabaye.
I've also gone for Yohan Cabaye. No?
Felipe
Coutinho.
Who am I? Question 8. I have delivered more accurate crosses than any other defender this season. 16. I have scored 5 goals since the start of last season, having scored just twice in my previous 206 league appearances for my club. I have made at least 11 more tackles than any other teammate this season. 41.
Debussy?
I went Baines.
I went Patrice Evra.
That would have been my second choice.
That's why I was right.
Interesting.
Who am I? I have made the most interceptions in the league this season, 55. I've won at least 37 more aerial duels than any other midfielder this season, 81. Only one other player from my country has played in the league this season.
Jedinak.
I went El Mohammadi.
I went El Mohammadi, but James is correct.
Oh my god.
How many are you on?
2.
What have we got? What have you gone last one? Different.
Michael Carrick.
Okay.
We've got different answers for the last question.
We don't even know how many he's on at the moment.
We could decide who wins this.
He could have won it.
He's not in the official standards though.
Well.
Question 10.
Oh.
Who am I? I have had more shots than any other goalless player in the Premier League this season, 31. In fact, it has been 975 days since I last scored a league goal.
Oh my god, it is.
Carrick's gone 3 years.
It's Tom Huddleston because he didn't cut his hair for fucking ages.
Only 2 players have created more chances from set pieces in the Premier League this season than me.
That's why I went for it as well, because Carrick's not a free kick taker, is he?
Tom Huddleston, isn't it?
I've gone Huddleston.
Tom.
Is it really?
Huddleton.
Oh no, the streak is over.
So I got 2 out of 10.
I got 2 out of 10.
I got 3.
Somebody got 3 out of 10 though.
Got the last
He's picked the right one. Well done.
2 on 10.
I thought you would get more of those.
Do better.
I thought you get more of those.
See me.
Because you basically only got the 2 that you pretty much knew.
I got Skirtle and Delafeu. Yeah.
That was intense.
That was hard.
Oh, there was a lot of guessing.
Maybe that's it, James. Maybe they're not hard enough for you. So you're just like, these quizzes are below me. I need them as hard as possible.
No, I think I just need to get the ones where Paul doesn't know the answers and hope that I just guess better.
Basically.
Do better.
That's what it seems to be.
No, I was pretty happy with the Ulster one at the end.
Yeah, in hindsight, because I can remember him. It was playing for
I don't think
Hull.
Carrick's gone 3 years without a goal.
Probably not. I can remember him playing, and he had a massive afro, and he said he wasn't going to cut it until he scored a goal in the Premier League, and he scored, and he actually ran to the bench where he basically picked up a pair of scissors, picked a bit of the hair off, and did that, and then was like, whoa. And then he shaved it off, and I think they did it for like they covered it and got like loads of money for charity and stuff.
Do right. So there we go. Maybe the word
brings an end to another fantastic week.
Yeah.
Of football.
Fantastic.
That wasn't quite as fantastic on Monday, but we don't go there.
Depending on your viewpoint.
Somebody had to win. Somebody had to lose.
2 games, 2 Forest wins, 5 goals to 0. Aggregate score. Better luck next time, I suppose. We did say that we were potentially going to throw out the idea of
switch it around next year, assuming Middlesbrough don't get promoted.
Assuming Middlesbrough don't get promoted, which at this point we'll do the away end for both games next season. If I can get tickets in the away end for both, obviously.
And
there's no danger of you not getting tickets in the away end for Forest, because you can just buy them at the Riverside.
Yeah.
I don't think you can buy them at the well, I'm assuming you might be able to, but it's probably unlikely to get them at the sea. No? I don't know.
Let's find out. And potential for going to Rotherham.
Yeah.
At the end of the season.
We'll see how Borough are doing, so that if I can get the tickets.
If there's something to play for.
If there's something to play for, we'll see. But yes, until then, tune in next week to find out what the crack is.
Yeah, might all be decided by next week.
Could all be over by next week.
It's all over by the time.
Who knows? So yeah, have you noticed in the book that our credit is at £35?
Draw a big circle.
We're just going balls deep on the next week's then. Just £10 a prediction.
Put the £35 on the next week's prediction.
What the fuss?
Well, we can have a can't see for the forest for the teas.
End of season party.
Christmas party.
End of season party.
End of season party. Promotion party.
To be honest, I was like, that's what we should do. We should take the kitty and just splash it on, you know, coffee. Nose candy.
Colombian.
Uniforms for next season of the podcast.
Uniforms.
Well, I meant basically kit.
Hey, I'll tell you something. If we'd have won enough money, it would have paid for the fucking Tony Pulis tracksuit, wouldn't it? Jesus. And on that note, thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
There we go.
And until next week.
Was that the first? Goodbye.
The
first TP of the night.
Oh, I said Pulis at some point.
Did you?
So there you go, what do you think to that? Another one in the bag, and speaking of things in the bag, cash in the bag. My cash. So yeah, another one done, another week in football, season's drawing to a close. Let's see how the teams do this week and see if we can get some more of that sweet, sweet money. All you YouTube watchers, make sure you're YouTube subscribers. Everybody make sure to jump over to thecookiecast.com, check us out over there, check our social media feeds and email options, and yeah, check us out. So there we go, another week done, another one in the bag, and until next week, I'm going to say goodbye.